What's up? I'm just making a quick video on these T-lock wedges. I have bought the Perfect Level Master T-lock. And while I was laying down tile, I ran out of the wedges, so I thought I would order these in replacement to these. And so this is the Perfect Level, and then I bought these orange ones to replace it, but it doesn't fit in there. So I ended up ordering these other clips here these were from Amazon. Those are called tile leveling system. And yeah, so far I like these. It definitely makes the job a bit easier. But it also, I got to worry about little things here and there as well too. So say for example, when you're putting these in, if you don't get to tile in your cuts, you're definitely going to want to leave a clip in there. I cut out a piece of the tile and place it in there. Then this will pop out. Now the important thing about these things is when you put these in there, to make sure that this is tied up against the tile, because what would happen if it's not, and there was a bit of a gap in here, is no longer 1 millimeter gap. There is now larger than 1 millimeter. So if this larger than 1 millimeter, say for example, if this was larger than 1 millimeter here, the tile would then open up as you went down the line. So it's definitely, you definitely got to look into, make sure that before you lay the tile that this is tied up against the tile before you lay, because if it's not, then you're going to get an opening down the line, which is going to be a big problem. You may not notice it right away, but you'll definitely notice it 2 or 3 tiles down, and by that time, if it dries up, you got to rip it out. So that's another thing too. So just make sure that you have something to hold it in place in. I had cut some of the tile to put up against there like that. And that way you just come in, take it out, and then this you pull out. And then just make sure again that these things are somewhat tight up against there. Okay. The other thing too is, so I had ordered initially 100 of these, and when I was laying, I ran out because I didn't think I was going to be able to lay 100 of these, given the fact that I was just using this system for the first time. But you're definitely going to want a minimum of 200. I'm a one-man team, so I was able to at least go through 100 of these, you know, in a given day of laying tile. You could probably go through more if you're in an optimal condition, such as an AC, where you can, you know, not physically exert yourself. So you know, just depends on the conditions that you're working in. If it's super hot, you may only be able to lay half because of how hot it is. You may have to stop. But anyways, so I had ordered these because these are from Canada. And they come much cheaper if you order them directly from the website. And these I ordered from Amazon, which we got a 2-day shipment. So I needed to work on it. A few days later, I don't work on the house consistently, but so I figured I would be able to use this. But like I said, this system here from the Amazon, from the tile leveling, does not fit in the Perfect Tile Leveling system. It's just too wide. Show you if I can. It's just too wide. Anyways, doesn't fit. you get my point. The other thing too that I went through this system too, the tile living system, they have this tool here, and this tool here runs about $100 through the tile leveling system. Now on Amazon, they sell this tool that works just as fine on these here. Let me show you real quick. This is just a quick video of, so this would definitely, you know, work in helping you do that. And also this system with this, sorry, works as well. I'm using one hand to do that, so it's not perfect. But anyways, so that's my quick take on these systems. Just make sure that you have something to hold this in place. Once you put them in there, make sure that they're tied up against there once they're in there. That way the next day you come out, take these out and pop these out. That way you can lay your cuts that are not there. Another thing too, when running into this system as well too, if you're gonna have smaller cuts like this in the room. Now a quick note about these little cuts here. This was from laying it to the hallway and then to the doorway. So that's what the wife wanted, that's what the wife got. So yeah, you're gonna have these cuts. The other way to avoid things like that is to probably put a threshold and then start new tiling here rather than making it continuous to avoid these small little cuts. But if those smaller cuts are not avoidable, what you'd want to do is when you put your tile in, you're going to want to cut it with a knife here, and then that way, because if you go to put pressure on there, it's not going to be enough to clip on there and bring this up to level. But if you cut it, I got some cuts over here. Show you real quick if I have it. Where's it at? No. Anyways. Well, anyways, the point being is you would have to cut it so that way this can have enough. All right. So anyways, going back to this here, again, if this is too long, it's not going to apply the proper pressure in order to avoid that lippage. So what you're going to want to do is cut it, and then you would apply it there, and once you do that, it would apply the enough pressure to lift it and hold it, and you're good to go. And if you don't, it may not put the proper pressure in there, and this will hit up against the wall. So yeah, so that's that. And the whole reason that I ended up purchasing or switching over to this is because, like I said initially, I thought these wedges would fit into these locks, these clips, but they don't. So when I purchased it, I just kept it just in case. Luckily, I didn't realize I was running out of clips, and then when I did realize it, I had to get these in by, this was Thursday, so I got these on Saturday from Amazon. So I'm just going to end up using this system in replacement to this. I don't see what the difference would be because this is 1 millimeter grout thickness, spacing between the tile, and this is also 1 millimeter. Oh, also, if you notice here, you got to make sure your tile is here within the 1 millimeter. You don't want to have it up there because, again, that's not 1 millimeter. these, if you're laying very thick tile, this will only go up to the tiles of 1/4 to 5/8, which meaning this 1 millimeter area here, if it's thicker than the 5/8, then you'll start to not be 1 millimeter, and your tile will be up here, and your spacing will be much more. So these come in 3 different sizes that I looked on the Perfect Leveling website. There's a small, medium, and then a large. I got the medium. On this system here, just comes in one size, I think, because I didn't see the option of getting a larger. Basically, if your tile's thicker, you're gonna want this area here to be longer. So anyways, this system here does not give you that option. So this is from Amazon, and then this is directly from the website. You can order these on Amazon, but they cost, I think, twice as much as it does on the website. On Amazon, you can probably get these within 2 days. I think. Actually, I'm wrong. I think it took about 8 or 9 business days or something like that. But these definitely came in within two days from Amazon Prime. So just depends on your time schedule. Either one, I don't know. I haven't used this one yet. I'm imagining it's going to be the same thing. And so I don't see the difference between switching over from one to the other. Some of these are a little bit more expensive. I think the wedges were cheaper than here, but then the clips cost more than here. So I don't know if cost is a thing. That's something for you to weigh and evaluate. Hopefully this video helps you guys out. Oh, another thing too is you're definitely gonna want to get these little spacers. These are 1 millimeter spacers that correspond with the 1 millimeter thickness of this. So you get these spacers that correspond with that. It definitely does help. And it's 2 options. So if you're gonna lay brick, you would lay this side or staggered. And then if you lay the corners like that, then you would lay this side, this is 4 corners, and this one would be 3. So then in other words, you lay this, and then here would be another tile if this was laid out kind of like staggered or in and then you can have an offset. So you have the 2 options of these spacers either way. All right, so hopefully that helps you guys out. About these clips, so these tile are, what are they? I think they're like 600 millimeters by 600 millimeters. Yeah, so that's like 24 by 24. And so far I've used 1,002 of these bags, so that's 1,000 clips. And then I ordered some more as well too. So if you're laying down 24 by 24 or 600 millimeter by 600 millimeter tile, you're probably gonna need an average of about maybe 1,300. You can just go up to like, just say 1,500. If you're gonna lay smaller tiles, you're gonna need more clip because it's smaller. So this is a 1,200 square foot home. So you're looking at about maybe like what? That's like 1.5 clips per square feet. If you're laying 24 by 24, you're gonna need more clips. If you're laying smaller, because the smaller it is, the more clips you're gonna need. Or the larger, the less. So it's just to give you a reference for 24 by 24.